Salute Knicks Nation. We're ready to break this win down, this loss, as the Knicks struggle in the second of a back-to-back in New Orleans. Man, this one was rough, but we're going to break it down, shout out the chat, and talk about the things we got to clean up, because man, it was ugly tonight. The Knicks were gassed, didn't shoot well, started really poor, turned the ball over, and Tom Thibodeau did not go into his rotation deeper, into a rotation which I didn't like. I did not like that at all. I kind of felt this one coming early in the season, but the Knicks made a run. Third quarter, cut it to 7. RJ Barrett was solid early in the game, and he was the best Knick for the most part tonight again. The Knicks rallied, got to the line a little bit in the third, but Zion Williamson, Brandon Ingram, and the officials helped the New Orleans Pelicans pull away in this one. Ugly officiating, disgusting officiating as well. We're going to go off on the officials tonight because, yeah, it was really poor. Not only did they miss, the ones where Brunson was stepped under again. That was pathetic. But they just let this one get out of control. The Pelicans could get overly physical and frustrate Julius Randle. I think he finished with like 8 turnovers. And the New York Knicks shot something like 12% from deep. Right? It was horrible. Quickly, bad game. DiVincenzo, poor game. The Knicks were just out of sorts. And I could kind of feel a letdown coming, which is why, we talked about last night. I wanted Tom Thibodeau to go deeper into his rotation. This ain't the playoffs yet. 9-man rotation on a second leg of a back-to-back in the third game of the season is pathetic. And and tonight, we were just lethargic in the first quarter, sloppy with the ball, turned it over, 12 points in the first quarter, and that's a hell of a hole, to try to come back from. But salute chat, replay squad, let's go. Talk about it. We'll preview the back-to-back coming up in Cleveland on Tuesday, Wednesday. The New York Knicks are now 1-2. It was a kind of a tricky start to this season with these two back-to-backs. Lucky we took care of business last night, fam. But yeah, officiating terrible. Salute Trini. Salute Almighty Finesse. Daniel. Salute Trini. JJ. And Sanger. What's good, fam? Give us your thoughts on this situation, right? I mean, yeah, across the board, all Knicks were pretty much poor late in the game. But yeah, RJ Barrett was the more solid player for the first half. Did some really good things again. But yeah, the New York Knicks just didn't shoot the ball well tonight. First part of the night, I want to pay credit to the New Orleans Pelicans. Their length, their defense was as advertised. But they were allowed to get too physical in the third quarter or the fourth, and that just staved off the Knicks' run. That helped them stave off the run, right? At that one point, Julius Randle, went hard to the rack and had his hands stripped by Herb Jones and no call. So yeah, that was pathetic, guys. The officiating was really poor. Again, I feel for Brunson. He got a technical. You don't often see Brunson get those kind of technicals. He had to voice his frustration. The refs are there to protect the players, and he was cut under once again on the 3-point shot, landing on Ingram's foot. And we've seen that all too much in the playoffs, guys. If that was serious, that could have been Brunson missing extended time on the sideline. So yeah, I really wanted Tibbs to integrate Deuce McBride, even Fournier earlier, and especially after a 12-point first quarter. But no, Tom Thibodeau wanted to stick with a 9-man rotation. We were clearly gassed last night. I could see that on TV. And tonight, second leg of a back-to-back, having to travel both on the road less than 24 hours after last night's final buzzer. To go to New Orleans, man, it was always going to be tough. But yeah, New Orleans got out fast on the break. Credit to the Knicks for battling, and sticking with it through adversity. 7 turnovers in the first quarter, 12 points. Randall and Brunson had 5 turnovers between them. That was tough. Allowed the Pelicans to get out and run, right? We see some rare highlights there. Brunson, RJ Barrett was finishing, like I said. We'll shout him out, and some of the other Knicks. But salute to the chat, guys. How we feeling after this? We've got to regroup. 2 days off, and we got to get it at Cleveland first, and then the second leg on the Wednesday is back at MSG. There was a time when Josh Hart was bullied by Brandon Ingram. Salute Hulu. We're entirely too small. We knew that coming into the season. How could the front office not? It's still early, but we question some of the decisions from now, what we're seeing tonight. Hart was too small for Ingram, and we also, see the Knicks wanting to keep a guy like Dylan Windler. They cut Nathan Knight, and they didn't want to keep Isaiah Roby, just so they could give Daquan Jeffries a spot. I mean, another 6-foot guard, I don't really think we need Daquan Jeffries with that situation, man. Salute Trini. Facts, 3 games in 4 nights. Really tough. Tough to start the season, man. JJ giving us the highlights for Zion and Ingram. 23 and 34 points combined. That was tough. Really tough to see Zion get loose like that. The announcers were bigging him up. Let's see how long he lasts, this season. Wish health on anyone. But I need to see it for an extended period when it comes to Zion. Salute JJ, appreciate you. Let's go for another season. JJ says, figured it would be tough one tonight playing with a real good and athletic team on the second leg of a back-to-back. And our start didn't help us, man. Slow starts from Brunson and Randall in 2 of the 3 games as well. Now, again, I said credit to the New York Knicks. We could have really won this game, getting back, cutting it to 7, but the refs just didn't allow that. It was, tough call after tough call, really. They let a lot of contact go. Pelicans had 6 steals at the half, and Brunson was 0 of 5. No bucket in the first half. Got to the line a few times. And Randall was 2 of 9 in the first half as well. We had 10 turnovers total in the first half, and we were 2 of 17 from 3 in the first half. So to really cut it to 7 in the third and make it a game, credit to the Knicks for fighting. Right, the third quarter really decided this game for me. We really could have utilized that opportunity to get ahead. RJ was getting to the line on McCollum. I like that. He was bullying McCollum and helped slow the game down a bit. RJ Barrett got us some easier buckets. Brunson stepped into a 3, and we cut it to 7. After a Grimes steal, then we saw Julius Randle return of the spin cycle. Got the turnover there. That was at a costly time, and he travelled, and Pelicans rallied. Zion cut it back to 11, and it was tough. The crowd was getting into it. Of course, this was the Pelicans' home opener as well. We felt the energy in the building out there. Maybe one of the only nights their arena might be at capacity. In that third quarter as well, a costly play. Jalen Brunson, for whatever reason, closed out on a Dyson Daniels 3-pointer. Dyson Daniels couldn't hit the backside of a barn, but Jalen Brunson wanted to close out on that 3, and that resulted in a back-breaking rebound. I think he swung the pass, got the rebound, and they got a 3. But I saw Brunson's frustration. I feel him. That technical, I'm glad he stepped up. Someone had to take a technical tonight. You know what? And I wouldn't have even been upset if it was Julius Randle. This is one of those nights where if Julius Randle had gone spaz, I would have been okay, because the officiating was really god awful. I'm surprised Tom Thibodeau didn't use a challenge. I think this is another game where Tom Thibodeau finished the game with both challenges. So that was disappointing. And despite the adversity, we won the third quarter, 31-22. So, the third quarter was the positive for tonight. And then, of course, both teams emptied the bench late. The New York Knicks finished shooting 5 of 32, fam. But yeah, poor night from DiVincenzo and poor night from Quentin Grimes, as well as Quickly. No energy, no spark off the Knicks bench, which was really what we need for tonight. We'll go through the box score in a minute. But yeah, this is the one we got to throw it in the trash can too. Gerard Salute says, yeah, can't get too high on a win and can't get too low on a loss. I think tonight's loss was more frustration at the refs. Frustration we couldn't start the game well. And I'm more frustrated with Tom Thibodeau as well, because I just don't see it necessary to go to a 9-man rotation this early in the season, right? Especially after a Deuce McBride preseason where he looked solid. Evan Fournier was in a bit of rhythm as well. We just that's 2 games now that we couldn't start well shooting. Brutal. JJ summed it up in terms of offensively, 12 points in the first quarter for an NBA team. So some of the things I tweeted out, a note I made is obviously an isolation-heavy offense like the Knicks running into a physical, lengthy defense, and it's not a good match. And that's what we saw with 12 points. I was sure too, Sanger. I was sure Fournier or Deuce or someone would get extra burn tonight just for a minute, just to give these guys a spell. Also, I can't go this long without shouting out Mitchell Robinson because, he's often the forgotten guy, not relied upon offensively. But Mitch's effort tonight, really, I've been impressed with his start to the season. He was battling, he was giving it his all. He was swallowing up shots at the rim and being physical. That block on Zeller was great. But again, he was dealing with a lot of adversity too. Salute NYC, what's up? We'll talk about the Cleveland game back-to-backs coming up after we're done going through the box score. And shout everyone out, answer any questions, keep giving us your thoughts, man. Regardless, win or loss, the streets are still buzzing. We're 1-2, very early in the season. I'm waiting for some trends to appear, but disappointing that our bench couldn't get it going. That's 2 bad games in a row from Quickly, and up and down seesaw from DiVincenzo as well. So we need more consistency, especially offensively, off the bench. But the Knicks out-rebounded everyone, courtesy of Mitchell Robinson. Like I said, 19 assists tonight, down from 30 the other night. Look, the Pelicans aren't a great team. That's one of the reasons why I'm more frustrated as well. They had 20 assists, we had 19. And they let us come back. They really let us get back in the game. They're an isolation-heavy offense as well that can get stagnant. With the likes of Zion, with the likes of Ingram, CJ. But 3 blocks tonight. That seems a little off. But the 18 turnovers, 16 the other night. I mean, really, on the road, we need more calming presence. So I'm looking at our point guards first and foremost, and I'm definitely looking at Julius Randle. I think, we shout you out when you're great, but we also got to highlight what needs to be cleaned up as well. So all these guys with the turnovers got to be better. And look, I know it's tough on the road. That's one of the reasons why I'm getting on Tibbs as well. As a coach, you got to recognize when your guys are struggling, and help them out. Read the room and understand that these guys are gassed, right? So, we look at the turnovers on the box score and we look at, hey, Randall had a lot. We had Barrett had a few, Brunson, but we can't just blame the players as well because second leg of a back-to-back, they were gassed, early in the season. So, typical Tom Thibodeau from tonight. as well. We do have a deeper rotation. We've got a deeper squad, and we got guys that can play as well. So it's going to be forgotten about. We're going to throw this loss in the trash. But if someone got an injury tonight, hypothetically, best believe the streets would be buzzing. With vitriol faced at Tom Thibodeau's way as well. So you got to keep our guys healthy. 18% from deep, a real come down from the other night. So that's 2 games we shot above 45%, above 40, and now 18. 77% from the line was decent. But like I said, the New Orleans Pelicans got 25 fast break points. We got 19 second chance points. So that was a big shout out to Mitch again with 15 rebounds. He doubled the Pelicans' next best player with 7, Brandon Ingram. Jalen Brunson with 5 assists, Mitch with 2 blocks, and RJ Barrett finished with 18 points as well. But yeah, I really feel your passion here, Duke Brown, and your frustration with the refs. It was disgusting tonight, and I feel like the NBA, they definitely want to help these small markets, but the referees were atrocious in terms of letting this game get out of control, and especially guys can get injured, players can get into fights. They just lost control, plain and simple, tonight. Yeah, salute JB. Yep, on point. Yep. Hulu and JJ feel like the Pelicans are extremely talented, more talented than us. Certainly they've got the talent. I think in terms of roster, it's can they put it all together as well. But I love paying credit to the opponents. I just feel like we're a better team in the end. I feel like when we were making that run, I thought, you know what, their offense is going to go stale, and we're going to get back in this game. But I felt like the refs also helped them as well. When healthy, that can definitely be a problem. Yeah, definitely JJ with Zion. I'd love to just see him healthy, just for 1 year, and just to see what he can be, especially. But the time is now. If you think about it, with the Pelicans, where did I put them in my West? So in the West, I got the Pelicans in 11 as well. So I could definitely be wrong, but we'll see. I got them just missing out on the play-in because the West is a wild, wild West right now. It looks like Trini agrees with the challenges. Tom Thibodeau kept both challenges tonight. Would have been a good opportunity to use at least one of them. Given the fact that you always got a second challenge up your sleeve, you should never finish a game with 2 challenges. As well, you should always use it. Mega's in the building. Michael, salute. Dunross, yep. Also pissed off at the refs. We've seen it time and time again. What's it going to take for us to get more respect? I mean, you saw RJ Barrett. He could have got a technical. He hit that tough bucket, which was lucky to go down. It bobbled off the rim, and he was like, "Come on!" And then we see Jalen Brunson, who's always cordial, get a technical foul. And I got to give credit to Julius Randle for keeping his cool at some point. I thought he was going to blow his lid at some point as well. I wouldn't have blamed him. But we were hitting incredibly tough shots, guys, to get back into this game. But Mitchell Robinson, got to shout him out for all the work he's been doing, right? Gobbled this one up and slammed that one back down. Mitch's homecoming. He definitely was not. He was not a New York Knick that was going to get punked tonight in this performance. Look, 4 guys on him. Oh man, it was crazy. How are we feeling about our chances against Cleveland now? At this stage, I'll probably be looking at splitting those 2 games and at least get the home one. But obviously, I feel like we're talented. We can get there and we can take both of them. I don't really look at this game as something that's going to carry over because, like I said, I think we're tired. It's a tough defensive team, super physical, and they just got in us, man. But yeah, even them, like 96 points, they weren't great offensively either with that situation. So we'll look at the box score now, give out some grades. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll start with the top. Bully Barrett, been the breakout player for the New York Knicks so far. 7 of 16, 43%, but went 1 of 6 from deep, but got to the line at critical times. I thought Barrett was able to help us in the third, slow the game down a little bit, use his physicality, and really bully his way to the bucket. Got to the line when we needed. Got 2 assists, 3 rebounds, 18 points, 1 steal and a block. Overall minus 15. A lot of players in the minus, but given the minutes he played, defensively he was not great, but offensively he was probably one of our best Knicks, in a larger sample. So we try to carry that over now. We take what RJ Barrett's been doing offensively, and hopefully he can continue that. But obviously the 3-point shot was not great tonight. No one had it going. Yep. Trini says, I think we beat the Cavs. And Michael says, Mitch Robb was king tonight. Yep. Definitely Mitch gets the next shout out. 4 of 8, 50% from the field with 15 rebounds, 10 offensive, absolute beast, and 2 blocks, 8 points. Right. I mentioned Barrett was the best Knick offensively. Mitchell Robinson was the best Knick, period, tonight as well. Battling, rebounding, getting a second chance points. Like I said, with the second chance points, the New York Knicks were decent because of Mitchell Robinson. We see 19 second chance points to the Pel 7. So shout out to Mitch for helping us get back into this game and stay in the game as well. But yeah, the officials had other plans. They took over. Julius Randle, like the other night, didn't have it going offensively, but wasn't able to really find the man. There wasn't a whole lot of ball movement. I think the Pelicans did a great job getting in the passing lane and making it difficult for us guys. But Randle pulled in 12 boards, 4 assists, but 8 turnovers, 10 points as well, 4 of 15. So, Juju Randle really struggles when the other defender can be overly physical, and they were definitely over physical on Randle tonight. And the only other thing is, he wasn't moving the ball as quick as against Atlanta as well. But yeah, he was another guy that was tired. And again, Tom Thibodeau would have been good to give this guy a bit of a rest. 33 minutes as well. That's the $1 million question, Michael. Absolutely. Exactly what I'm thinking. I think Deuce and Fournier were perfect candidates to see minutes tonight, especially in that third. I was looking at the second quarter. I was really watching. I was like, okay, when is he going to bring in someone else? Because a 9-man rotation on the third game of the season on a second leg of a back-to-back is really flirting, I think, guys. Against the team with a home opener. They had energy in the building. You could tell. This was set up for a letdown game, unfortunately, and we played into their hands. Really, that's all that happened. Credit to us for fighting back, but again, I don't rate the Pelicans that much. We'll see where they finish, but I think they're still inconsistent. But yeah, disappointing from Quentin Grimes. Also, 1 of 6. 16% from deep. Only had 1 assist, 2 steals, got into the passing lane a little bit, but just too inconsistent with the 3-point shot at the minute. And we need Quentin Grimes for our offense to really be a true great offense, and for the defense to be stretched out We definitely need Q dot, fellas, ladies and gents, to be more consistent. I love me some Quentin Grimes. When the shot's flowing, it's wet. But unfortunately, we're seeing a lot of instances where it's inconsistent right now. He's still young, still growing in this league, is a great defender, but we need that shot. We need that shot to fall. What I am noticing is sometimes he does pull the trigger really, really quick. Now, it's hard to tell a player not to shoot quick. Like, that's his groove, that's his rhythm, that's what he's worked on. But yeah, to me, it looks like he does rush it a little bit as well. But yeah, 22% from the field as well. So, I mean, man, it's tough to really give out grades tonight just because, if there was a few players really down and a few players great, I'd be more inclined to just give out serious grades. But right now, just everyone was pretty much bad except for Mitchell Robinson and Barrett offensively. For the most part in the first sort of half, 3 quarters as well. Jalen Brunson, we've got to get to him now as well. 1 turnover, but I thought he was a little indecisive, definitely struggled with their length. When Brunson's not getting the foul call, we also see the struggles, guys. He was having a great night offensively the other night with the step backs, shooting the 3 ball amazing. It was 8 of 12, career high. But tonight was a comeback down in 30 minutes, 4 of 14. So yeah, like I said, did not have a bucket at halftime. Let that sink in. Got to the line 6 times, 5 of 6, hit his free throws, got 4 rebounds and 5 assists. So average game, poor game from Brunson basically. Josh Hart, 1 of 5, also struggled, got his rebounds, but yeah, even he was indecisive tonight. Normally he pushes the break, and goes coast to coast. Josh Hart was hesitant also tonight. Now, Emmanuel quickly had a real bad first half, finished with a couple of later buckets. 4 of 9 was the most efficient Nick outside of Mitch. But really, IQ was really trigger happy earlier. A couple of ill-advised shots, I felt. But definitely he's trying to get into his rhythm and get his groove, try to be confident, take the open shots. But, especially when the offense was struggling, I thought Quickly could have been more of a willing distributor tonight. 1 assist from Quick in 19 minutes. We got to point that out. 1 assist in 19 minutes. So the ball wasn't moving very well, and we were playing into the hands of the Pelicans D as well. Also, Isaiah Hartenstein battled, wasn't as good as the other night, but Dante DiVincenzo really disappointing for me. Went 1 of 5, inefficient again, and a 2 of 7 overall. Got 5 points, 4 rebounds in his 20 minutes. So it was deuce time tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Like the chat's been saying, spitting knowledge tonight. The chat's buzzing. But yeah, Deuce McBride, Evan Fournier could have given us that spark. No, I don't think I'm being nitpicky at all. I think second leg of a back-to-back. I'm not trying to say they should feature in the rotation regularly or heavily, but yeah, definitely tonight we needed that little bit of extra energy, especially with a hyped up Pelicans crowd and the travel, all of that. It's kind of crazy what the league has done for us, fam. Where early in the season. Also, we're really getting a look at our squad, our rotation. We're seeing Daquan Jeffries get some late minutes. Dylan Windler got in late in garbage time. But like Hulu was saying, looking at our size, Jericho Sims didn't get any minutes. And this was the first real game that we got bullied, basically, with some of these possessions. Josh Hart was caught, guarding, not caught, but yeah, was basically struggling to guard Ingram and the length, the size he had pulling up, fam. So yeah, first three games in the books. How are you guys feeling so far as well? It's far from any time to panic at all, but we're seeing some legit concerns. We got to clean up the turnovers. We got to be more consistent shooting the ball. And I would like Tom Thibodeau to utilize some of our extra squad as well, especially on these back-to-backs. Because losing the game is one thing, but you don't want to jeopardize a key player's health, right? I'm not a guy that's going to try to scratch and claw every regular season win. To me, it's about making sure that our players are healthy, playing normal minutes, and allowing the New York Knicks also to get that extra spark. A guy like a Deuce McBride can come in and do that. Tonight we weren't shooting well. Evan Fournier was there on the bench also, or Dylan Windler or someone else. So yeah, we head back home, rest up for a few days, and then we have Cleveland away on Tuesday, home on Wednesday as well. We'll be live again post-game, both games, and then Thursday, the day after the final Cleveland game, we have a national NBA reporter as a guest coming on who's close to the Cleveland market, so that's going to be fun. We'll see how we look, and we see how the Cleveland Cavaliers will look, and we'll get to chop that up. So yeah, we see the Cleveland Cavaliers lost a narrow one to OKC yesterday, and they are now 1-1 as well, or 1-1. And Spider Mitchell has been putting up points, but I think we gotta take care of our business first. We gotta clean up these turnovers, and we gotta move the ball and shoot better as well. Mothman Evolve, what's good? I predict we'll be 7th seed right now. That's still possible, most definitely possible. I think the East is stronger. This schedule is going to be a little tough early, and we'll see. We do need to lean upon our squad and make sure that we're giving guys a proper chance as well. I thought Deuce McBride had a great preseason. Gerard says, Coach Comer, I think the players are robots. Yeah, I agree with you on that. I thought, tonight, especially when you see your leaders get frustrated, almost blow their top, get technicals, get bumped, get hit. I mean, it would have been perfect for Tom Thibodeau to get a technical tonight. And I would have been fine with that. Like I said, that's how bad the officiating was tonight. It was horrible. So, yeah. Tibbs should extend this rotation, Michael. I agree 100%. At least to 10, 11 possibly as well, on some times as well. So, we'll see. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt, see if he's going to adjust. But it's not going to be long before, one guy's going to get nicked up, Now, I hope it's nothing serious, but at some point, playing big minutes on back-to-backs, guys will get, a little nicked up at some point of the season. I know it's early in the season. That's probably his counter-argument in terms of why he's playing 9 men. But to me, it didn't make sense, on a back-to-back. Especially when we ain't shooting the ball well, So, and, we see guys like Mitch give it their all on every single hustle play. Got 4 guys on him, and he's playing huge minutes as well, right? We need him healthy. We need him, to continue to do what he does and be great. So, Mitch was a beast tonight. He gets the game ball from a Knick perspective. Look, RJ Barrett was solid offensively again, outside of the 3-point shooting. Was helping us get to the line, and basically out of the 3 games has been the most consistent Knick, which I don't know how many people would have predicted, fam, outside of Brunson and Randall, over them. Broadway bully Barrett has been the most pleasing Knick offensively as well. 2 down games from Quickly. kind of so streaky. Quickly's been fantastic on opening night, but then down these two back-to-backs. We also we had, Mark Berman also mentioned to us that he feels Quickly is great at home, but he struggles on the road, and that came to my mind instantly when I saw these two games as well. So yeah, I can agree with Berman on that one as well. Can't always agree with everything Berman says, but in terms of what we're seeing from Quickly, he's really good at home, and he can really struggle on the road as well. That was a nice driving baseline reverse layup from Barrett using the right hand as well. Dribbles with the left, it goes up, finishes with the right as well. So yeah, the 2-point finishing, the mid-range shooting of RJ Barrett has been solid so far. And yeah, we wait to see how we look in Cleveland now, ladies and gentlemen. So anything else we can highlight from the box score? We see DiVincenzo plays 20 minutes once again. Now, we're going to need him to be really consistent if Quickly's going to be up and down as well. Shot the ball well last game, but DiVincenzo back down to a 20% from deep, 1 of 5 as well. Now, Evan Fournier's got a lot of critique from fans saying, he's hopeless, he shouldn't play, he's bad defensively, all of that. And we can't really disagree with him on defense, but offensively, it's clear Evan Fournier is one of the best shooters on this team. Right? He holds the New York Knicks record for most threes in a season, and the New York Knicks record tied with J.R. Smith for 10 threes in a game. And we're watching a DiVincenzo go 1 of 5 once again, inefficient as well. So I kind of got a feel that Fournier, really feels like he can help this team, which is what he said, and he's frustrated. So we'll see how that plays out early this season. And obviously, defense, we couldn't get stops tonight either. So it's tricky. But definitely, I've got Deuce McBride as the first guy in line based on preseason, and a guy that needs minutes, especially on these second legs of a back-to-back. The guy's more ready now offensively to contribute, and the defense just gives us a real great energy and a real great spark that we needed as well. But yeah, like I said, I'm not going to give out serious grades tonight because I don't want to throw people under the bus based on the second leg of a back-to-back. I felt like Tibbs could have gone deeper into his bag, and I thought the refereeing allowed the Pelicans just to be super physical as well. But the biggest thing is, the turnovers, right? You can't always shoot the ball well, but you got to take care of the ball, man. 10 turnovers at the first half. Julius Randle with 8 overall. I don't even know if that's his record. I'm going to assume it probably is, because 8 turnovers is huge. Michael wants to give RJ and Mitch a B+. Yeah, I could give them that easy. Yep. I could definitely give Mitch an A and RJ Barrett a B. But yeah, Mitch an A I could give him. But yeah, most of the guys are incomplete. Joseph J's in the building. Knicks are small. You don't get calls from the refs with poor size, 1-4 at any level, even at our best. Yeah, you're not wrong there. But I also feel like it's a trend. Julius Randle and RJ Barrett over the last 3-4 years have really copped a raw end of the deal with officiating, and that's specifically getting to the rack, because they have something in common. They're both physically strong, and they're bullies. And I think, the referees, just like LeBron, they let a lot of contact go, and it can disrupt their rhythm, and their flow and all of that. But yeah, one part I did give credit for Randle tonight, I'll give him credit again. We didn't see him blow his top. I would have fully expected Julius Randle to blow his lid, especially after that egregious foul from Herb Jones, I think, who basically slapped his whole forearm on that drive, and that, I just felt it at that moment. It was just like the tipping point of someone's going to get a technical right here as well. But he he kept his cool. In the end, it was Jalen Brunson that got the technical tonight. You could say, as a leader, someone has to do something to force the issue. And I would have been fine if Tom Thibodeau had done it tonight. Look, Zion, paying credit to the Pelicans, Zion had a great game. Brandon Ingram had a great stretch of the game where he dominated for a bit. But outside of that, I think that the Pelicans' offense isn't great. What's good, Dirty's in the building. Salute. The sub 40% shooting helps out our strategy of getting more offensive boards. Absolutely, it does. Without the intention of missing. But our most consistent guys in Randall, Brunson, and Hart have looked worn out, unfocused so far this year. I said it in terms of the end of the preseason. I said we looked a little underdone. And a little, basically what I mean by that is a little unprepared from a 4-game preseason. I think I really understood the Knicks' strategy was to keep guys rested and a little more healthy after FIBA. But I felt like given the 4 games, I felt the Knicks didn't approach the preseason in an ideal way. And that was playing Brunson 5 minutes in the first game, 14 in the second, sitting him in the third, and then trying to integrate him and ramp up his minutes in the final game. That's no ideal preparation, I think. And then the same was a little bit similar with Julius Hart as well. A suggestion I made, maybe they could have played Brunson and Randall heavy minutes in the second and the fourth game, given the back-to-back against Boston in the third game. There was no need to play them back-to-back. Definitely was the right thing to sit them in that one. But if you're going to play Brunson in the first game, 5 minutes is useless. You're not going to get any chemistry from that. You're not going to get any rhythm from that as well. But a guy, who's bucking the trend, RJ Barrett, has carried his form, who played deep into FIBA. Obviously he's a younger guy, and it's showing. He's carrying more energy, and he's carrying more effort and consistency into this season as well. So I'm looking for trends. I'm looking just for guys to be more consistent, right? We can shout guys out from night to night when they have an amazing shooting night like Brunson. But then if you just come back down to earth, like Quickly has as well, it's not fun, just being so up and down in this league. And that's one of the reasons the players want load management. Another reason why they want a shorter season. 82 games is a grind, and we're seeing it early. It's been a really tough part of this schedule. But 1 and 2, it's definitely early days. We put this one in the rearview mirror. We throw it in the trash. And let's get it, versus Cleveland. Because, we're about to hit a storm. We've got Cleveland back-to-back. Then we have Milwaukee as well. So the real contenders are going to step up. Dirty says IQ is also taking horrible shots, looking out for his contract instead of letting the game come to him. I agree wholeheartedly with the first part, taking horrible shots. I think it's an early thing where he's feeling, he's always confident. And as part of being a more mature player is assessing not just the look you have, because he's taking good looks a lot of the time, but just assess where the game is going, and understand that sometimes it's an ill-advised shot. I'm talking if the other team is on an 8-0 run, and you need to either get to the foul line or make sure that you slow the possession down. IQ does the exact opposite. He jacks up a deep three or something like that as well. So I think we're definitely seeing a guy who's more of a scorer in my eyes first over a guy who can read the floor and distribute, get his teammates in better positions, all of that. Now it's probably not his role from Tom Thibodeau's perspective. It's to come in and score. it's interesting, they want DiVincenzo handling the ball a little bit. So that maybe lets me know that they've got Quickly as a guy that they like off ball, DiVincenzo, to dribble it up a little bit and let Quickly step into his shots. But yeah, we continue to watch to see. It's very early in this season. I think IQ's definitely going to get hot. He's going to get on a streak. I'm a little more concerned with DiVincenzo right now than I am with IQ, because I think we've seen Quickly enough. He's going to figure things out. DiVincenzo, we do need to be more consistent, especially handling the ball. He's looked shaky. 2 turnovers in 19 minutes with 1 assist. So yeah, DiVincenzo tried to dribble through traffic, turned it over again at a critical time. So I like DiVincenzo off ball as well. I agree with you on this one with Dirty cutting DiVincenzo's ball movement. But Quickly's got to make the right pass with that too. I love Josh Hart cutting off ball as well. Now, interestingly, Josh Hart had to jack up a couple of threes, went 1 of 3 later in the shot clock. Again, the offense was just stalling, and it just was not good at that point. But yeah, a lot of rust. I'm putting this down to a lot of attrition tonight, rust, and things just being early in the season, right? We've been here, we've done it before, we're rallied back. Now we're, 1 game under 500. We've seen some good things from RJ Barrett and Mitchell Robinson, the 2 best Knicks in the starting unit. I'm banking on Randall and Brunson to figure things out. I'm a little more concerned with Quentin Grimes. Again, another player who's streaky, inconsistent as well. Now, people feel like Grimes has something more in his bag. And when the 3-point ball ain't flowing, what's Quentin Grimes going to do? Can he dribble and create a little bit? Can he have a little mid-range move, a step back? He got that nice crossover that he showed. But I'm really looking more for Quentin Grimes to do a little bit more, than just shoot as well. So cut more if needed. We'll see. Because I do feel like the New York Knicks are really looking at that 2-3 spot in the future as well. And if Quentin Grimes doesn't step up big this year, and let's say Emmanuel Quickly does, maybe that changes their thinking. So that's what I'm really looking at. As funny as I say, we see Quentin Grimes here standing in the corner. He was expecting the pass. Yeah, we see him put his hands down with that one. But that was a good finish from Barrett. Yeah, again, get on the officials, Michael. Yeah, it was horrible tonight, man. Not looking after the players' welfare as well. Not only that, but penalising Jalen Brunson for being correct. Man, I hope something changes, but I don't know, man. We already saw the referees come out and make a statement and say that they were incorrect, but there's just no consequence. It's just like, admit we were wrong, and we all move on. Expect these players to get on with it. It's just frustrating, Michael says, is Tibbs putting too much pressure on Dante, do you think? No, I think Dante will be cool in the long run. I really do. Fam, I think new team, maybe a team with more expectations, bright lights early in the season. Like I said, preseason was super short, I think. I haven't actually heard anyone say this, but I heard in the previous years, people have said the first 10 games of the year is really an extended preseason. And I can't really disagree with that. I think 4 games isn't a whole lot to get going into a groove. And that's one of the reasons why I have some of these teams struggle in the East. Talking about the Miamis, the Atlantas, Brooklyns, Torontos. I think early in the season it's going to be real tough for them to get going, and figure it out. Dirty saying, I can't decide really whether I like Brunson's emphasis on shooting threes or not. been sloppy on the floaters. Certainly has, man. A couple of the shots were short tonight, so I really feel like it was fatigue with Brunson. But given the fact that he shot 8 of 12 the other night, it's just a mixed bag. It really is. So yeah, with that said, I think Brunson's just got to read the defense. Interestingly, Dirty, we haven't seen Brunson really do that back down, post you up and under kind of move that we saw a lot last year. And also, like you said, we haven't seen a lot of these floaters like we have. He was super consistent with that. So I'm banking on it being an adjustment because of the interrupted summer he had. And also obviously the FIBA, the physical competition. With that said, we need more consistency from everyone. I don't think this is a year we can just rely on Jalen Brunson, to bail us out of a lot of these situations. I think we're seeing a lot more of what Jalen Brunson really is so far in terms of a solid offensive player, but not a guy that is basically like a Damian Lillard, Donovan Mitchell offensively that can just take over games whenever you need it. I think he's good for getting a bucket, but last year we might forget at times, but Julius Randle was sensational offensively at times last year, and he helped the Knicks, get timely buckets, get stops, and run out on the break as well. Right, a lot of this half-court offense, I think we're going to struggle to get really good, consistent looks at times against good defenses as well. So we've got to really be moving the ball and hope that RJ Barrett and DiVincenzo and Grimes can shoot the ball well. But you would love Quickly and Brunson to get money on those floaters as well, fam. Those were huge for us over the last few years with Quick. Yeah, recently with Brunson. Well, that's a move that's really unguardable, in getting into the paint. Well, getting us cheap, easy looks. Yeah, fam, just tired legs, really. I think, as much as it sucks, tonight was set up for us to take the L. Great win the other night. Last night, great win, shot well, feeling good, left Atlanta feeling good, and came into a storm tonight against the rested Pelicans as well. And this is one of the reasons why teams like the Clippers rest Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, and those kind of guys. Sometimes you just got to read the room and say, hey, this game is going to be tough to win. We're going to play our young players and just see if they can give us energy. I think hopefully Tom Thibodeau can adjust a little bit to that, because I really feel like our roster's worthy of going 10, 11 deep early into the season. Dirty says, I feel like FIBA and Randall being unable to train has sunk in early with the tough schedule. Yep, definitely. Interrupted preseason as well. But like I said, the Knicks' aim was to keep everyone healthy, and they succeeded with that aim. They didn't want to mess around with preseason and play Brunson a lot, which I respect. I can understand that completely. Such an important player, huge FIBA, physical exhibition games and physical tournament, and they didn't give us stuff. Basically, they didn't give a damn about preseason in terms of Brunson, really, with the approach. Julius Randle. Hopefully, these guys are fresh to finish the season, which is the most important thing. But yeah, I'm looking at our role guys to step up, really. Quentin Grimes was Brick City. Josh Hart been down. DiVincenzo has had a slow start as well. We're really looking at Deuce McBride and Fournier to see if their decent preseason form can give us a bit of a jolt. Julius's ball movement has been more better earlier to start this year. RJ Barrett's ball movement as well. The starting five, for the most part, has moved the ball quite well. We just 2 out of the 3 games have come out shooting really poor from 3, and 1 game shooting amazing from 3. So it's kind of, you got to expect it to kind of level off at some point with that, you know. But yeah, typical starting five. I think the rest is coming at a great time now. 2 days of rest, and it's going to be good. Maybe look at some film. We're going to look at do some light practice, hopefully, or some practice with Tibbs. Get some more cohesion. Work on some free throws. Speaking of the cohesion, especially out of timeouts, we have not been great in terms of execution and getting a good look, getting easier buckets after a timeout as well. So obviously we haven't had a lot of practice after training camp, 2 a days after North Carolina or South Carolina they were in, and then after that, we basically had to start preseason. So things are going to look up. I think we're going to finish probably the top after the first 10 to 20 games. We'll be around the 500 range, feeling things out, and then I think we can really put our foot down as well. But yeah, hopefully more consistent shooting with that. Like I said, yeah, Michael, I agree with you early, and I'm hoping the practices and the extra time off and the film sessions can get these guys more comfortable. I'm talking about the DiVincenzo's, the Quickleys, and those guys. Really, there's no reason the starting five shouldn't start more cohesive, because it's the same starting five, as last year. And I really feel like those guys have looked decent moving the ball. They just haven't been shooting well. Yeah, it is ridiculous, 100%. 2 back-to-backs in the first 5 games, fam. It's crazy. Having said that, though, if we can beat Cleveland, win both of them, win one of them, like I said, we're around that 500. I think we'll be fine. That's why I really do feel like the 50 wins this year was going to be a huge, tall task, and I feel like it's going to be a case of how hot can we get later in the season. How injury-free and healthy can we stay, and how hot we can get late in the season. Now, at least Tibbs emptied his bench late in the game, but that was expected. The game was done. So we saw Deuce, we saw Sims, Jeffries hit a couple of shots, Windler hit a shot. Salute to Windler for his first bucket as a New York Knick in regular season action. It was a 3-pointer as well. So we might see then, according to reports, Fred Katz, the Knicks were very high on Dylan Windler, former first-round draft pick. Comes in as an excellent rebounder, is 6'7", big wingspan, really strong rebounder, but little undersized to play the 4, really just the traditional 3, but can shoot the ball, shoot the lights out. So we'll see if he gets some minutes, some opportunities, right? As we talk about Thibodeau and we get on him tonight, right? Does he learn from this experience? And in the Cleveland back-to-back, I'm going to be looking next week to see if Tom Thibodeau is going to extend the rotation in that second game. We'll see, or extend it in the first game, because these games are getting real. They're really getting more serious, I'll say, as we get into the first 10 games. But we're playing serious opponent now, Cleveland, a team that we're going up against. We've got Eastern Conference record. We're vying for a similar, seeding. Obviously, there's the playoff story, the background. And I think it's going to be a big week next week with the Cleveland back-to-back, Milwaukee as well. We peep the schedule for the first the Cleveland game. Let's have a look at this one now. And we'll look at November as well. So the back-to-back to Cleveland, and then the first NBA Cup game, pool game, is against Milwaukee on Friday. So 3 games next week, and at least there's no more back-to-backs for a little bit. So we got Milwaukee, then we have Saturday, Sunday off, and then we're at home to the Clippers, the Spurs. Victor Wembanyama comes into town, and then 3 days off. So, man, if we can get through this stretch and we beat the Cleveland game, or hopefully win both, that would allow us to, maybe have a letdown against Milwaukee. And then I like our chances against the Clippers and the Spurs at home as well. So, yeah, if we could be a 500, one game below 500 by then you might take it. Because, yeah, interrupted preseason, early start to the year. I really thought we were good to win tonight. But, yeah, the New Orleans stepped up defensively. The refereeing was horrible. And then we got Charlotte, Boston, ATL. A lot of away games, actually, after that. The week of the 12th to the 18th is going to be crazy. Charlotte, Boston, Atlanta, Washington, Charlotte away. And then, yeah, the NBA Cup games have commenced. Fam. So, yeah, I'm really encouraged by RJ Barrett's start. It's just unfortunate that we're not talking about other Knicks also. More New York Knicks having a great start as well. But I guess that just puts more of the spotlight on RJ Barrett so far. Tonight, didn't shoot the ball well from deep, but was good offensively for the most part, getting to the rack, making decisions, moving the ball. Defensively, got a 0 in on Barrett. Haven't really noticed much, issues defensively in terms of from last year. A little bit of ball watching as well. A little bit of missing his man off the ball a couple of times. But, that's going to come, with more reps into the season, I feel like. Yeah, the first 10 games is basically an extended preseason, I feel. So let's get this tough schedule out the way, and let's focus on getting some wins that we needed to take care of against the Charlottes, the Atlantas, the Washingtons as well. I think we could beat the Clippers and the Spurs. Yep, absolutely dirty. We know these Cavs have these games circled. If Randall comes out bad, we don't have much of a chance. We got to learn to win games defensively now too, because half-court offense isn't always good. Isolation heavy. I think we did a great job in the playoffs of just slowing them down, and I think we got to make sure we take pride in taking care of the paint, like we did against them in the playoffs as well. Mitchell Robinson, Hartenstein, Josh Hart got to step up. Yeah, Josh Hart's been a little lackluster also. Like I said, tonight he was hesitant taking the ball to the rack as well. We need guys just playing with their instincts. That's what brought them here. That's what we need. But yeah, we've seen it before. I wouldn't be surprised if we have 2 letdowns against Cleveland and then we come out and we punk Milwaukee, such as these New York Knicks. So far, anything is possible. We can beat anyone and we can lose to anyone, I think. And that's the problem. That's the real problem. We just don't know which Knick we're going to get, So that has to change. And I think, Tibbs is going to get on them in the practice, fam. So, as we get ready to wrap this thing up, right, second loss of the season. We're 1-2. New York Knicks Nation. The streets are still buzzing. These games are going to come up thick and fast. But I'm encouraged by some Knicks, RJ Barrett, Mitchell Robinson start to the year. It's time for these guys, the leaders and the rest of the starting 5, to be more consistent, come to play as well. Tom Thibodeau, reach into the bag of your bench when needed. But salute to Mitch, Barrett, but got to clean up these turnovers. Julius Randle, take care of the ball. Hopefully Jalen Brunson gets into his offensive groove. These guys have been around long enough. I think they're going to figure it out. Unfortunately, the schedule's not kind, so it's going to have to be sooner rather than later. and rectify this. But like Doty said, I think we're going to get up for the Cleveland game as well. We're really going to get up for that one because we want to back up our success against them and also make that statement that we are not going away. We are still here. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be a big week. Like I said, the 2 back-to-backs will be back post-game live. And then on Thursday, we have an NBA reporter, national reporter, close to the Cleveland market. After the 2 Cleveland games, we'll talk about it. But yeah, salute Knicks Nation. Try and enjoy the rest of your weekend. Hopefully the football teams get up. But yeah, the New York Knicks suffered an awful defeat tonight against a good defensive team. Yeah, and a bad officials, a bad officiating tonight. Let's clean this thing up and come back and sweep the Cleveland Cavs, hopefully. I'll see you on the next one. Salute.